Hey,
Hey
Charlie.
Tim, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. We are good. We
Yay.
are good.
Change microphones. I've got 12 of them, it seems, with Bluetooths and cameras. How's business? How's life?
Business is steady, sort of, for this time of year at least. I got I got a bunch of condos, well, a bunch. I've got a couple condos and a townhome that I can't move, but then I put my own sort of just it's basically like a flip, although we didn't like we acquired this place. We just acquired the deed and it's a real fixer upper. We didn't want to do any of the work and we could make money by not doing any. So we just threw it on the market
Nice.
and got multiple offers. So we'll see on the
Nice.
inspection, but assume they know what they're in for. So hopefully, yay.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best flip.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Eh,
did you get the deal?
What's that?
How did you find that deal?
So my business partner on this one, he knew the guy. The guy kind of drank his life away and was just looking. He was in foreclosure and just needed to get out. And so he was in treatment, but he didn't want to ever go back because he didn't want to even be close to previous influences. So he just sold the
Right.
deed for like $500, and
Oh wow.
yeah. So and then the math is it we'd have to pay off 170 or whatever, but we got an offer for 200. So all right.
Oh, nice little base hit there, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Uh, what is like? So here in Nashville, kind of what normally happens in the real estate market is it starts picking up in March and it just kind of really ramps up until it seems like 60% of my deals close August and September every year. And
Oh,
then
interesting.
um, it kind of it used to stop after October, but or after September. Now it kind of goes through October, November, and
Okay.
then um, between Thanksgiving and March 1st, it's dead except for the week of January 1st through 7th.
Yeah, okay, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean almost like clockwork. And like what's the do you kind of have a rhythm there where
Oh
you're
yeah, for
at?
sure. I always say it's Halloween to Super Bowl is quiet. Um, and then um but after the Super Bowl, it is game on. And but
Nice.
that lasts really until honestly, I mean, you may like the average buyer or seller may not notice that it starts to chill after Easter, but you can just feel the difference. It's like, like just take 2021 when it was like the craziest. There were people paying the seller's closing costs and waiving inspection and doing all this crazy stuff. After Easter, like maybe there was some people waiving inspections, but like you could just like it just had calmed a little, right? And then, so like this year it'll be the same, right? It'll like but the calm will not be as noticeable. Then when we get to June, then that okay, summer's starting to chill and then 4th of July it's like hard stop. It'll have a little bit of a pickup in August and September. Um, but where it may feel like that sort of like May era where it's like it's still kind of hot, but it's not quite the same as spring. And then
Yeah.
it'll go and then again Halloween to Super Bowl's quiet. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the
It's amazing
rhythm.
the way that's different. One of my mentors, um, he when I met him, uh, yeah, this was 8 years ago, and uh, this time of year we came and he's like Charlie, and he's a painter, and he's got a
Okay.
really good painting business, and so his rhythm is my rhythm, basically,
Yeah.
kind of Thanksgiving, and he was just like he was just Charlie, chill out. Like, does this happen every year? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you plan for it?
Right, exactly. Yep.
He's like, it comes back every year, right? I said, yeah. And I love that because I've seen like so many, um, especially like business coaches and people are like, this is the time where you really grind. And
Right. Yeah.
he was like, look, like enjoy time with your family. Like this is great. Like you're given a reprieve. It's
Yeah.
gonna be crazy next year. Like
No,
relax.
that was a total game changer for me when I came to that realization as well. That because I had heard the same thing from business coaches, like, everyone else is taking a vacation. That's when I grind, and like that's why other people are losers and I'm a winner, right? I was like, actually, turns out this is a feature, not a bug, right? Like how awesome that we get this time, right? Uh,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But so then the challenge isn't necessarily that. It's the challenge is like, this time comes and I'm like, instead, like where like I'm always like, like when it's busy, I'm like, oh, I wish I had hobbies. I wish I had like, like time to do all these things. And then this time comes like now, and I'm like, have all this time to do all these things, and I'm like, I wish there was business.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey Jerry, Dale, Brad, Dana's hopping on. Um, do you guys have any kind of rhythms that you guys like? I mean, y'all have been in the business successful for a long time. Kind of how y'all do it. I know Dana, we were talking about it last week or a couple weeks ago, how you usually do bold about right now, and that kind of pushes you through the cold months till next year.
Yeah, but we don't have a bold locally.
Are you doing it online?
No, there's no bold
Oh
for
wow.
for here. You can do it on the East Coast, but there's not one bold in our area.
Oh wow. Um, that's you guys probably all know it's Keller Williams kind of 8 week, like
Yeah.
make a bunch of calls, do your bold 100. Are you with um so I've started looking at my referrals while you sleep stats, and our minimum is that 100 people a day see us. Um some some people are at like 300 or 400. I was like, look, that's like your bold 100 times three
Yeah.
every day on autopilot.
Yeah, I went to a meeting the other day and everybody goes, man, we've been seeing you all over the place again. I'm going, okay,
That's cool.
I'm not doing anything. It's your ads. Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Jerry? What's your kind of rhythm?
I work hard when there's business and I don't when there isn't.
You're my hero.
you know, been in it so long and you see the seasonal things kind of come and go. And fortunately this year, it looks like I'm going to have a good December. November is actually, pretty decent. So I do put down a lot of that to referrals while you sleep. And I've I'm probably your least active guy with video, but it's still getting me out there. So no complaints.
We're still running that video from 3 years ago. It's still working.
Yeah. So cool thing, I just looked and in Nexus system there's like 2,500 loan officers and I rank 134 this year. So for an old guy that doesn't push real hard, it's not too shabby.
Not too bad. Not too bad. I love that. Work hard when there's business, and I don't when there's not. Yeah. What about you, Dale? Is the snowmobiles close to coming out?
Yeah, we're might be getting some snow this weekend. Not enough to go play in, but that's where I really don't care what happens in the real estate market come January through March, because I'd just soon be doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get nervous when I'm not doing anything, and it's hard for me to walk away from the phone because I'm getting better with it, and but we'll see. I'm just out after the hunt. I want to see what I got to do to break through that barrier. It's really odd. This year was a horrible year up through the first 6 months. I had one closing. And I thought, my God, what's happening? And from June or July, when I started getting busy, when I started getting closings, I've had one more closing than last year now. And I just closed what I think will probably be my last deal last Friday. And I was going to talk to you about that. So this is a miracle deal that had ever sold. And we got top dollar. I want to share it in a video, discuss it, but I don't want the seller to see it because it had hurt her feelings. I didn't take advantage of her or anything like that. It's just that she's just too it's an estate sale. Her husband passed, and there are some things about the sale that, how difficult she was to work with. And I just want to share those things. I'm just wondering, is there any way that we can omit her from the potential videos?
Possibly. That could be.
Because it's a
I
great
mean,
story.
do you guys have any suggestions on a way like he could share the story, like where if she saw it, she wouldn't be offended? That's kind of where I go first.
Yeah, can you
Well,
share it in a way that it wouldn't bother her?
yeah, and the thing that would bother her is the part that I have to share that, she just ghosted me. She would not communicate when we would have a great offer. She wouldn't even sign a counter offer. I don't want her, if she saw it, I would feel horrible if it hurt her feelings, because what I want to portray in the story is how I did my best to reassure her that everything's going to be okay when she would talk to me, and then she would just hang up. So it doesn't shine a not good light on her, but it's an amazing story that we got this house sold.
Yeah.
How many offers did she look at?
We received probably 6 or 7 offers at 650. I got some of them up to 700 cash, no inspection. We ultimately sold it for 750. And the buyer never saw the house. The real estate
Oh,
agent
wow.
walked through the house on the morning of closing. Now they bought it expecting to tear it down ultimately, so they didn't care.
Yeah.
And it had some damaged areas, that were important. But it's the most expensive house, the most difficult house to sell. I sell it, and I've got the lowest price house on the market, and I can't give it away. It's been on the market for a year, and I cannot sell it, for $230,000 versus a house that nobody could get inside to look because she wouldn't allow anybody inside the house. And it was clean. She just didn't want, she was doing everything in her power to not sell the house.
Right.
Ultimately was the issue.
Maybe you could position it that, she received several offers and, really was willing to wait, and ultimately the right offer came through, and you were able to put it together.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Shows your patience that, she's going through a really tough time, right?
She
And
was going a very difficult time. Yeah.
there's a lot of people that would have been jerks. Like, I know you enough to know, like, you were not a jerk to her. And like, that's a great testament to, hey, you're there for people, even when it requires patience, even if it takes a while. And it worked, right?
Yeah, it's totally worked. When she would fly off the handle, I just stepped back and let her calm down, and then picked up the conversation later. And sometimes there was no conversation to pick up. I just had to back off and keep texting her because she wouldn't answer the phone. I'd leave messages. I have no idea if she's, listening to them. I don't think she did. And I wanted to stop by her house, and she told me don't. you know. In fact, she ghosted me for so long, I was concerned that she committed suicide.
Don't put that in the
Seriously.
video.
Yeah, I want to do a wellness check. And then
Oh,
all of a sudden
gosh.
she pops up and responds.
Dale, here's my suggestion. I think you do two videos. And the first one is you just do it completely unfiltered. I think there's probably a lot of stress and stuff that you still need to get out from that transaction that was just really, it was frustrating because I mean, I've been there where people ghost you and you're like, fuck. I mean, excuse me. You're like,
I said that.
dude,
A real emotion.
you're like, dude, are you serious? Like, and then you keep talking to the other agent. You're like, just hang out, and then you're like, I did all this work, and then this buyer's gonna walk away, and where's this lady? You know, I mean, just throw the video. You know, do a video, and you know that one you don't put out there, but and maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you cut a portion of it out, but whatever. The second one is more like you make it funny. You know, whenever you think about the hard parts, you laugh. You know, you're like, so then we get this offer and it wasn't exactly a timely response from the seller. You know, so that when she sees it, because at some point so what if she sees it? You're probably never going to work with her again anyway, not to be mean to her, and you don't want to hurt her feelings, obviously, but she can look back at it and be like, yeah, you know what? I probably didn't really get back to it right away. You know, and you're if she does see it, she laughs with you, and it's helpful just to laugh about it and be like, yeah, and yeah, and then I didn't hear from her on. She got a little heated when I did talk to her. You know, and you just explain it that way. But that first video, just be like, man, she fucking went crazy. I thought she's just loony.
Oh yeah.
And then delete the video.
Yeah.
That's an
Wow.
idea.
Sorry for the cursing, but that's just our business. Man. Sometimes this stuff is just so crazy. It's so like no one can ever believe what we're actually dealing with it because it's just like we're frontline with some serious stuff. And you know, this is the type of stuff that you just kind of think about when everyone's like, you know, you guys get paid too much.
Right.
You're like, oh yeah, let me show you an old video.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't show you that on HGTV.
Yeah, this is the behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And I was thinking about well, one, did any of y'all have any questions on kind of referrals while you sleep? What's happening? Any thoughts kind of going into this new year?
Did you receive the video from Jessica that she and I did last week?
I did. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we've
good.
got that. Yeah.
Harold,
that's
are you
great.
still are you
How
still
often
working
are
on
you-
the project to use the little snippets of the videos?
We are. Yeah. We're
How
working on
often-
that.
I'm sorry, darn it. How often are you scrubbing our photos and stuff for new photos?
So we now if we get new photos, I need you to send them to me.
Okay.
That's a good question. I've had 3 people over 4 years irate at me, and all of them were because I picked a photo that they didn't like. And so the solution to that was just like I think like it's like Jerry a few months ago now he got me a bunch of photos, and so I've got some people they'll just send me some new photos like once a quarter or every 6 months and drop them in. What I try to do is whenever I'm out with the family, I yeah, I'll give someone my phone. We'll take some family pictures or friends, and then kind of once every couple months, I'll hop on and just upload them all.
So a funny story about when we were going through the photos for me.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, I live in Wisconsin, and Charlie's going through them, and he's like, "Boy, it's pretty unusual to have a picture of you. You don't have a drink in your hand."
There was a pattern. Yeah, that was fun. Did someone
Brad,
else have a question?
that's how I deal with stress.
I love it.
So one thing that I was thinking, have you guys ever heard listen to Jay Abraham and he's got this thing, the strategy of preeminence. Have any of y'all ever heard that?
I've heard the name, but I don't know that book.
Right. Yeah. Same.
He so my uncle owns a mortgage company here in Nashville. Just started it a couple years ago. Um, he's owned multiple businesses, and he actually hired Jay Abraham a few years ago, and it's something like $100,000 for 6 months, and then if he wants to keep working with you afterwards, he gets a percentage of the profits that he generates for you. Like that's how he does it. And my uncle said it's completely worth it. He's a genius. He's known as just one of the smart marketers. And I was actually, I don't know if it was me and you, Brad, that were talking, or me and my friend Zach Hammer. His strategy of preeminence aligns exactly with what we do here, which the strategy of preeminence is you are the trusted advisor for your clients before they even hire you. And you take the role of leadership. He's the one that has the famous quote, people are begging for leadership. They're walking around with their umbilical cord in their hand, looking for who to plug it into. I love that. And his whole thing is leadership. And that is like when you talk to a client, finding out what they really need and then giving them that advice, whether it makes you money or doesn't. And for taking that leadership role of, all right, like based on what's important to you, here's the steps. Do you want me to help you? And he calls that the strategy of preeminence, which really like is what referrals while you sleep. Like my goal is that when the people that know you are ready to move, you're the only choice in the world because they've seen testimonials of you, they've seen videos, you talking, they see pictures of you. And what I realized is there's some ways that we can use the referrals while you sleep. I guess it's some new conversations we can have. And so I thought I'd share those. And one of them, like one of the conversations is, and I've noticed, so I can now see when Jay Abraham's hired to mentor someone, I can see like, oh, they're running Jay Abraham's playbook. And one of them is it's the state of the union address, like whatever your industry is, the state of the Minnesota real estate market, the state of the Salem real estate market. Like you just say, all right, I'm the guy, I'm the gal, I'm the person that's going to like, I've got the leadership position, and here's what's actually happening. And it could even be, with your little niche, that's one of them, kind of the state of the market. And Brad, have you seen him do those before?
No, I haven't.
Can you say this is Jay Abrams doing the State of the Union?
Yeah, Jay Abraham is I can actually
send us a link, give us an idea.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or open it up share one now if you want.
Yeah, let's do.
because everybody does market updates, but
It's
if you can
only
make
a
a
3-minute
change,
video on preeminence.
Yeah. So I had some notes in AI, but I just can't find them right. I'm a great innovator, not so much organizer. And so this is Jay Abraham. He's got this document that explains it. I fed it into AI and said, "Hey, what?" So here's the overview. That's really cool. Like this is what we already do. Like we're committed to what's best for them, no matter what. We actually find out what they want and give them advice that pertains to their specific um, role. And one of the things that Jay Abraham says, in fact, Joe Stump, by referral only, it was cool. I got to meet Jay Abraham when he came to my uncle's office, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm in real estate. I'm in by referral only." He's like, "Oh yeah, uh, I coached Joe Stump when we came up with the term by referral only." So that was kind of cool. It's a lot of it's based in um, this idea of leadership. And um, that's one of the photos I use for my referrals while you sleep. Only my marketing nerds know who he is, but I'm still proud of it. Um, and the reason I said that is you'll hear when he says these things, you'll hear Joe's 5, 6, 7 come into this. Like your job is to provide clarity for the clients, and your job is to understand them. And whoever can clearly define their problems the best is going to win. The words in their head, whoever can give them certainty, um, whoever they can trust the most. At the end of the day, they really do want a leader. And I love this. People think I don't know what to do, and so we can use these duo videos so that when they're ready, they can relax and say, I know who I can trust. I know who I can pull the umbilical cord uh, uh, within. Um, I'm looking through here. I got a copy of his onboarding form. His onboarding questionnaire is like 80 pages. It's something crazy. And
hey, Charlie, would you send this copy of this PDF to me? I'm seeing some stuff in there that could make some good video.
yeah, I'll do that. And this is where kind of the state of the union comes in. Like, what is your vision for your marketplace? Like for me, with referrals while you sleep, my vision is that uh, entrepreneurs like you guys can relax and enjoy your lives and spend 90% of your time serving your clients, because referrals while you sleep build your credibility and authority every day so that you can continually just do more and more of what your superpower is, because that's where the real value is. And serve your clients and enjoy your life. Like that's my vision. What I realized, like a lot of referrals while you sleep is, kind of like what you said, Jerry. When you got business, you work hard. When you don't, you're not busting your butt wondering where your next client will be. Or Tim, kind of like what we found out. Like
Yeah.
when it's like I love, I'm a programmer, but I hadn't heard that. It is a feature, not a bug. Like downtime is great. I had 3 closings this month, and one of them, Dale, I can relate, but it wasn't my client; it was the other agent. I mean, it was one of the hardest deals I've ever worked with the other agent, because he wasn't getting his way, and I think he's used to getting his way, and he was threatening to submit me to the Tennessee Real Estate Commission, and like he had no leg to stand on or any of that. But it's just exhausting, right? It's just one of those deals that was exhausting. And so I think yesterday someone said, "What do you do this weekend?" I was like, "I'm taking a week off from real estate. I need a break. I need to breathe." Uh, and like that's part of the feature, that I can do that because I'm still in front of people. And I had a call yesterday. Hey, there's this house, and I think we really like it. Um, and so a lot of the State of the Union is like, what's the vision for your clients? Where and it goes with these questions, like if you are on the end of this vision, like why would I want it? Um, why would I want to take advantage of, this at the particular time? It's easy for us, our clients, like they need to move for some reason. How will it make me feel better about myself, my family, my business? Why is this better than what I'm doing? Like the vision is, like it's not just a real estate practitioner, but like what's the vision? Um, and yeah, maybe we can even I wish I could find my notes, but it's kind of like a 90 days to preeminence is what I've been working on. And I'll share this with you. Y'all can look at it. Um, a lot of it you guys already do. Um, I do too. And it's just like, how can we, as you can see, he's got a lot of questions here. How can we just make sure that our clients know that we are their trusted advisor? Um, and how can we do it through the video? Like what kind of stories can we tell? And so I know one of them was case studies. He mentioned that. Um, and what's your vision? What's your case studies? What's your system? From a high level, what's your system from a small level? Um, I know you guys have, like, we've never talked about that, but like what do y'all have a vision for, like what is your vision for your clients when they come in contact with you?
So I don't have like a position paper on it or anything, but basically, I'm looking to generate customers that are so satisfied that they want to refer me. And that entails a lot of different things. Communicating, over communicating probably. Just making sure that they're comfortable every step of the way. I do a call to all the parties on the transaction every Tuesday, and it was kind of funny. I had a closing one time, and the realtor was telling the title agent that he calls every week with status, and the customer said, "Yeah, on Tuesday afternoons." So, um, I want to kind of be known for that kind of communication, and that's where actually a lot of my referrals do come from, is customers that I've done a transaction with, or the the listing side of a transaction that I do, and then they'll wind up referring somebody to me down the road sometime. And I think that that's where referrals while you sleep has helped, because it keeps me in mind for them.
Yeah. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Yeah, uh my whole way of operating is to hopefully do a good enough job that they want to tell their friends and family about me. Um, yeah, so uh, though I guess maybe this is a blind spot as to like how to like really put it into words. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just about being as educational as I can so that they never feel intimidated by the process. Being as communicative as I can, um, providing them the best possible information. Um, like Jerry was saying, I give my sellers an update every Tuesday, although sometimes it's Monday if I can get to it, but I set the expectation that it's Tuesday, and it's very, very detailed. Far, far more detailed than most people could get. So, or most people are providing or would provide them. So therefore, just like even if their place isn't selling, it really shows them that, I'm providing them a lot of information on potentially why or what we could be doing differently or whatever. Yeah, things like that.
I'd love to know an example of one of your Tuesday calls. Like what all's in on
Well, so I write it in an email so that it can be read, and it is like super comprehensive.
that? Nice.
Yeah, I
So,
that's a little motivator for me to want to sell the house because I hate doing it. It takes so much time. But uh but again, it's about them telling their friends and family like, look at all of the effort my agent's putting into this, I don't know.
you're right.
And then it's
You're
something
right.
tangible that they could show them as well, right? It's another reason why I like to put it in the email.
So do you call them too, or it's just the email that you send every Monday or Tuesday?
Pretty much, pretty much just email. I mean, I certainly not
I like
against
that.
calling. But um like I called one yesterday because I kind of need like in his case, like he's like one of the people who was showing it found some potential pest infestation to like a week ago, and so I never heard if the seller actually went ahead and did the deed of eradicating them. So I kind of needed to know, hey, where are we at with that? Right. So
Okay.
so I called him on that in that case. I mean, like, so things like that. Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense. What about you, Dale or Dana?
I don't do really weekly updates with my clients. It's probably something I should do. But I'm in communication with them, throughout the process. I've got that darn condo I'm just struggling with. And I keep him updated. I've been doing open houses and stuff like that just to do whatever I can to keep that door open for people. Um, the other listing I've got, it's about 2.5 weeks on the market. And so now the motivation is slowing down. And so actually I have to contact him today because he was considering dropping the price again. And so each time I do that, we remarket the house, of course, and blast it in front of everybody. So I'll be sending it if he's it regardless on both transactions. I'm going to send a email out to my database saying, "Hey, let's help this seller get their house sold." Not who do you know that wants to buy the house, but let's see what we can do and help this seller get his house sold. And
I
then
like that.
who do you know that's interested in buying the house? That way, I'm not asking them if they want to buy it because they get tired of hearing that stuff,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And my clients, my top 100 or so, they know that I'm out here to help people.
You're right. Yeah. They've seen that over time.
Mm-hmm. So,
I like that.
yeah, I don't
How you doing
communicate
today?
as freely as I
Oh,
should.
good. I'll tell you.
I like that. Dana, what about you? Do you have any MVVBP or any specific vision for your
We
clients?
actually check all the activity in their price point. So high-end stuff, that could be anywhere in the area. The lower end stuff, it's specific to their market, and we give them that information every week. So it's we look at what came on the market, what sold, what went under contract, and then we can have a conversation around it because we have the information. And so I like that part of it
Yeah.
because it takes the subjectivity out of it. It's just this is the
Here's the numbers.
information. Here's the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find my notes because it was a really good little thing from Jay Abraham there. Brad, do you have any specific vision either for the referrals while you sleep people we're working with, or?
Yeah, well, yeah, two categories there. So starting with the residential real estate business, uh, my vision when I sit down with the clients is I want to give them a clear picture of all their options so they feel they're making the best decisions. And that's the overriding theme there, because there are so many decisions they have to make along the way. None of these things is very difficult. It's just I was talking to some clients yesterday about it. None of these things that we do are really that difficult. It's just when you put them all together and how to make it all flow seamlessly is really the art in the communication. And where the disconnect for a lot of agents is not giving the agents that clarity. So like, for example, Dale might not do a weekly call, but he sure as heck is making sure that they know everything that's going on, and it works, because that might stress, stress people out, just be like, oh yeah, every Tuesday afternoon I have to do this. But that also may decrease for Jerry, that decreases his stress because he knows, oh, I'll deal with that Tuesday afternoon, whatever. I'll put that in the update. So, and some of these people need real time stuff because it's like, hey, let's kill the lizard before it comes Godzilla with their their issue, because they're start to like just go into a different space. They get angry or whatever because you're not getting back to them, or they're just so worried about this little thing that's not a big deal. So that's the long answer to my vision is clarity. Just making sure that the client has clarity. Now for referrals by sleep members, I think that is just really knowing that you don't really have to do much. We've got enough to do with our residential real estate business and our loan officer business. You don't really have to do much. All you have to do is just keep doing what you're doing, but make sure you upload it into your Dropbox link. So the next time, Jerry's hanging out, having a drink with somebody, he's just, hey, Lil, can we take a selfie here? And then just throw that in the Dropbox link. I mean, literally, that is as easy as it gets, because Charlie's programming has done the rest of the job for you. So those are my answers.
I'm hopping into Claude over here to see if I can recreate kind of what Jay Abraham did, kind of his idea for this. And this is as you can see, I've been trying to find that thread. And one of the main things, and it's what I love about you guys and this group, all of us, well, it reminds me, like I remember I had this one broker, and I had a client that was unhappy afterwards. And this was like one of my first, 10 deals. And I asked my broker afterwards, and she said, tell her to call a lawyer. You've gotten your check, you're done. And I was like, what? I was like, this is why some people say that's why they're called brokers, because they're broker than you, because of dumb advice like that. And you know, like I mean, there's a lot of, you know, I've heard people say, you know, the disclaimers shield you from all things. Like you know, you you don't take a position of leadership, which is silly. But everyone here on this call, like we take ownership and leadership, and you know, it's really, I mean, I think all of us here, it's a moral obligation to take care of our clients, whether it results in a check right now or not. And so it's feel really comfortable that when you do the duo videos, you know, you can kind of share how that comes out, how uh, you know, you've prevented mistakes with clients, you know, how you've told clients when it's, you know, not time yet. Um, and um, then he's got here, you know, he loves case studies, comparison, you know, I don't know, how could you even do this with like, how, how would you like compare, you know, like I'm thinking, there was this one really popular agent that, like I remember he talked about his listing, and his whole thing was he'd go on a bunch of listing appointments, and his whole goal was just to tell them what their house would sell for in that condition that day, take pictures and get a sign in the yard that day. And like that just drove me crazy. I was like, there's some clients that's needed. You know, some people need to go out right away, but then like I feel it's my duty to find out what the client wants, and if they want to make the most money, like there's some ways that I can help them do that. What are some ways that you guys think we could kind of have case studies or comparisons that show why they should hire us?
Case studies. Well, I mean, I had a client that wanted to sell their house and buy something smaller just because they didn't have the kids at home anymore. But
Yeah,
but they couldn't get anything in their price point that it didn't make sense, you know, it made absolutely no sense. And I told him that, referred him to a lender. My lender told him that, and I just looked at him. I said, if you really want to do this, I'll list your house, but I don't think you should do this right now. I don't think this is the right spot for you to do that because you're going to be paying a lot more for a house that's similar or smaller and than your house payment is today. It doesn't even make sense. I mean,
right.
they had a 3% loan, and I'm sitting there going, you aren't going to get a 3% loan. You're going to be paying double for this house. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah,
And um, they finally they looked at it and they said, well, you're telling me that, the lender's telling me that, it must not make sense, right?
yeah,
And I'm going, I'll do whatever you guys want to do, but I don't think this is the right time. Now, fast forward a year and a half, they got a promotion and they have to move. Okay, now it makes sense.
right, right. Yeah,
And I'm not competing with anybody, right? Because I did the right thing.
right,
I've had
right.
that same conversation numerous times, and of the people that did sell, they always came back to me because I was looking out for their best interest. Um, how do you portray that to where it sounds like you're being honest? Because a lot of people will just say it, you know. Um, that's the struggle that
What,
I have is, you know, I believe Dana because I know Dana, of course. Her clients know her, but how do you share that with the masses that you can make it so authentic that they have to believe you?
yeah. Well, perfect segue. I would love to take this time and split off into duo videos. And like, um, Tim and Jerry, have y'all done a video together yet?
I've only done one video with you.
Okay. Um, so what I'd like to do is Tim and Jerry, Dale, you and Dana, split y'all into breakout groups, and y'all share a story of like of that where, you know, you told a client like now's not the time, um, and like you provided that leadership. Do all y'all have some kind of a story like